Welcome students, myself Dr. Satichand Pandey. Today's topic is types of scheduling algorithm. In earlier we have discussed some parts, now we will discuss remaining parts. In the types of scheduling algorithm, we have seen already FCFS scheduling, SJF scheduling. Now we will discuss priority scheduling. What is the priority scheduling? In the priority scheduling, we can say in the simple line, anything related to scheduling, we will first assign the priority. We will work any type of, then we will first discuss priority. Priority scheduling is a non-preemptive algorithm and one of the most common scheduling algorithm in the batch system. Each process is assigned a priority. Process with highest priority is to be executed first and so on. Processes with same priority are executed on first come first serve basis. In it, priority can be decided based on memory requirements, time requirements, or any other resource requirement. This is the table. We can see how to assign priority. In the given table, their arrival time, execution time and priority, these are showing here. We can considering 1 is the lowest priority for this table. There are 4 processes, P0, P1, P2 and P3. These are the 4 processes. What are the arrival time? P0 arrival time is 0, P1 arrival time is 1, P2 arrival time is 2, P3 is 3. What is the execution time for that process? P0 have 5, P1 3, P2 8, P3 6. Priority. In the other cell we can see what is the priority for all processes. 1 for P0 priority for P0 process, for P1 process 2, for P3 1 and P2 1, P3 3. In the given table we can see 1 priority for 2 processes. Service time is 0 for P0, 11 for P1, P2 for 14 and P3 for 5. What is the waiting time for that process? P0 we can see there is 0 waiting time. For P1 10, for P3 for P2 12 and P3 2. This is the waiting time for all processes. Waiting time of each process we can see here. Now average waiting time equal to 0 plus 10 plus 12 plus 2 by 4. That means 6. It is the average waiting time. In all priority scheduling we can see priority wise distribution. Now we will discuss round robin scheduling. This is the another scheduling. Round robin scheduling is the preemptive process scheduling algorithm. Each process is provided a fixed time to execute. It is called quantum. In the round robin scheduling we can say that every process can be distributed by quantum, we can say another time slice also. Once a process is executed for a given time period, it is preempted and other process executes for a given time period. Context switching is used to save states of preempted process. For example, quantum is 3, then we can divide the whole process P0, P1, P2, P3. These are the 4 processes, and quantum is 3. It is equally distributed, and when the remaining parts are added after completion of process. Now the another topic is deadlock. It is the most important topic for operating system. A deadlock is a situation where each of the computer process waits for a resources which is being assigned to some another process. In this situation, none of the processes get executed since the resource it needs is held by some other processes which is also waiting for some other resources to be released. A deadlock happens in operating system when 2 or more processes needs some resources to complete their execution that is held by the another process. In simply, we can say that when deadlock occurs, that means nobody can execute any type of process. For example, this is the deadlock in a operating system. Here we can see that resource 1 and resource 2 is connected to process 1 and process 2, but in that way no process can be executed with that resources. In that figure, process 1 has resource 1 and needs to acquire resource 2. Similarly, process 2 has resource and needs to acquire resource 1. Process 1 and process 2 are in deadlock as each of them needs the other resources to complete their execution, but neither of them is willing to relinquish their resources. What are the difference between deadlock and starvation? These are two words, but they have different meaning. In the deadlock, it is a situation where no process got blocked and no process proceeds. In the starvation is a situation where the low priority process got blocked and the high priority processes proceed. In the deadlock is an infinite waiting, but in the starvation it is a long waiting but not infinite. This is the main thing. We can say every deadlock is always a starvation, but every starvation need to be deadlocked. The requested resource is blocked by other processes. The requested resource is continuously by used the higher priority process in the starvation condition. In the deadlock, it happens when mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption and circular wait occurs simultaneously. In the starvation process, It occurs due to uncontrolled priority and resource management. What are the necessary conditions for any type of deadlock? A deadlock occurs if the four Kaufman conditions hold true, but these conditions are not mutually exclusive. The conditions, also known as Kaufman, are given as follows. First is mutual exclusion. In the mutual exclusion, a resource can only be shared in mutually exclusive manner. It implies if two processes cannot use the same resource at the same time. This is the mutual exclusion. There should be a resource that can only be held by one process at a time. In the following figure, we can say that there is a single instance of resources 1 and it is held by the process 1 only. We can say process 1 is allocated by resources 1. This is the mutual exclusion. Next is hold and wait. A process waits for some resources while holding another resource at the same time. A process can hold multiple resources and still request more resources from other processes which are holding them. In the following figure, we can say that process 2 holds resource 2 and resource 3 and it is requesting the resource 1 which is held by process 1. This is the figure. No preemption, it is another condition. The process which once scheduled will be executed till the completion. No other processes can be scheduled by the scheduler meanwhile. A resource cannot be preempted from a process by force. A process can only release a resource voluntarily. In the figure, process 2 cannot preempt resource 1 from process 1. It will only be released when process 1 relinquishes it voluntarily after its execution is complete. Next condition is circular wait. All the processes must be waiting for the resources in a cyclic manner so that the last process is waiting for the resource which is being held by the first process. A process is waiting for the resource held by the second process which is waiting for the resource held by the third process and so on till the last process is waiting for a resource held by the first process. This forms a circular chain. For example, process 1 is allocated resource 2 and it is requesting resource 1. Similarly, process 2 is allocated resource 1 and it is requesting resource 2. This forms a circular wait loop. These are the 4 conditions. It is also known as Kaufman condition. How to handle deadlock? Generally, 3 fundamental approaches used in deadlock handling. Each approach has different implications for user processes and for the operating system. These 3 processes are: first, deadlock prevention, second is deadlock avoidance, and third is deadlock detection. To ensure that deadlock never occur, the system can use either a deadlock prevention or deadlock avoidance scheme. Now we will discuss on deadlock prevention. It is important to prevent a deadlock before it can occur. So the system checks each transaction before it is executed to make sure it does not lead the deadlock. If there is even a slight possibility that a transaction may lead to deadlock, it is never allowed to execute. By ensuring that at least one of these conditions cannot hold, we can prevent the occurrence of deadlock. The first condition is resources are non-shareable. Another is process hold some resources as they wait for other resources. It is not feasible to preempt resources from the processes. Circular wait exists in the system. Now, what are the deadlock avoidance? It is better to avoid a deadlock rather than take measure after the deadlock has occurred. The wait for graph can be used for deadlock avoidance. This is, however, only useful for smaller databases as it can get quite complex in the larger databases. This is the avoidance of deadlock. There are various algorithms also for deadlock avoidance we can discuss. Next is deadlock detection. This approach let the process fall in the deadlock and then periodically check whether deadlock occur in the system or not. If it occurs, then it applies some of the recovery methods to the system to get rid of any type of deadlock. A deadlock can be detected by a resources scheduler as it keeps track of all the resources that are allocated to different processes. After a deadlock is detected, it can be resolved using the following methods. All the processes that are involved in the deadlock are terminated. This is not a good approach as all the progress made by the processes is destroyed. Some points for deadlock detection. All the processes that are involved in the deadlock are terminated. This is not a good approach as all the progress made by the process is destroyed. Resources can be preempted from some processes and given to others till the deadlock is resolved. The main thing is that we can use for handling any type of deadlock, deadlock prevention, deadlock avoidance and deadlock detection. There are some also algorithms for deadlock preventions and deadlock avoidance. we can discuss distributed system. Thanks.